Wednesday, December the 1st. Ah, that's pretty. Seems like old times. Victor Borge is here, and Ethel Ennis. The Godfrey Men with Jerry Alters. And this is the day, we always get him on the third program that he does with us. We're going to get Victor to play for you today. The best is therefore yet to come. Out of the tree of life, I just picked me up plum. You came along and everything started to hum. Still, it's a real good bet. The best is yet to come. The best is yet to come, and babe, won't it be fine? You think you've seen the sun? You ain't seen it shine. Wait till the warm-up's underway. Wait till our lips have met. Wait till you see that sunshine day. You ain't seen nothing yet. The best is yet to come, and babe, won't it be fine? The best is yet to come the day that you're mine. Come the day that you're mine, I'm going to teach you to fly. We've only tasted the wine, and we're going to drain the cup dry. Wait till your charms are right for these arms to surround. You think you've flown before? Baby, you ain't left the ground. Wait till you're locked in my embrace. Wait till I draw you near. Wait till you see that sunshine place. There ain't nothing like it here. The best is yet to come, and babe, won't it be fine? The best is yet to come the day that you're mine. Oh, the best is yet to come the day that you're mine. And the folks at Merriam-Webster, who published the Webster's 7th New Collegiate Dictionary, got a very interesting letter recently from a lady in Watertown, Massachusetts. Her name was Mrs. Athena Avgis. I hope I pronounced it correctly, A-V-G-I-S. She wrote to tell them about a unique gift idea. They asked me to pass it along to you. She had bought a dictionary, a Bible, and a cookbook for her son as a gift. And on the dictionary, she wrote food for the mind. On the cookbook, food for the body. And on the Bible, she wrote food for the soul. Now, that's a unique gift idea presented in a very creative way. 3 of the most popular and useful books anyone could want: a dictionary, a cookbook, and the Bible. Webster's 7th New Collegiate, of course, is America's best-selling desk dictionary because it's the most up-to-date, the most authoritative answer book around, perfect for home, school, or office, and just $7.50 thumb-indexed, $8.50 for the new, larger print edition. And there are also a lot of very attractive, readable editions of the Holy Bible around, a book every family library should include. And then there's the Better Homes and Gardens new cookbook. So there you go. Food for the mind, Webster's 7th Dictionary. Food for the body, the Better Homes and Gardens cookbook. Food for the soul, the Holy Bible. Food to tickle the funny bone, Mr. Victor Borge's book, entitled My Favorite Intermissions. The stories of the musical greats, lives of the musical greats, and other facts you never knew you were missing. Food for the funny bone. A very delightful book you'll thoroughly enjoy. It's available now for Christmas. And Victor Borge is with us today with Ethel. He has christened the new ship. Your appointment is 11 o'clock this morning, sir, with your dentist.
Yeah, it was.
I hope you will take your teeth with you.
Well, I have so far, and I've been very fortunate with that, in that respect.
Yes, we are, aren't we? If we have our own to take to him. I often think of the time, the horrible torture it must have been for people, for example, like the father of our country, George Washington.
He had wooden teeth, didn't he?
Yes, some were wooden and some were metal, made by a silversmith, the man who rode that horse all night long, saying the British are coming. Yeah, he was a fellow that made teeth.
Rubber.
Yeah.
Pronounced it the other day. Paul Rubber.
Paul Revere, yeah. Well, imagine an idiot gets up 2 o'clock in the morning to ride a horse.
Well, if there's nothing else to ride, he might as well ride a horse.
In those days, that was all there was, yes.
Not necessarily, but I mean, if he had to go somewhere, I mean.
Well, I've heard it said that may have been what he was running from. But anyway, we have a thing here for children, too, a game called Candyland. This is often the child's very first game. This is a game that requires no reading at all. The players advance along a rainbow path through the peppermint stick forest, over the gumdrop mountains, past the crooked old peanut brittle house and the lollipop woods, and through the molasses swamp to arrive finally at home, sweet home. Candyland. Get one of those games for that little tot in your house for Christmas. Victor Borge, when you first came to this country, 5 years ago?
Yes, about that.
And you didn't know the language, only a few words, you didn't know how to pronounce them. You must have had great trouble when you would finally learn how to pronounce a word, let's say in New York, and then went to New Orleans, huh?
That didn't bother me so much, but the thing that I thought was strange was when I took the train down to Florida, where I had a date to play for an agent. I stopped at stations where it said black and it said white.
Uh-huh.
And I thought it was for people who couldn't stand the strong sunshine, that they had dark rooms, to sit in while they waited for the train. So help me. I mean, in Europe, we didn't have any knowledge or any problem of that kind. And this is my first impression. The trains have two kinds of waiting rooms. One for people with weak eyes and one who didn't care.
They even have black and white cemeteries.
Really?
Yes, they did. Not only that, but black and white restrooms.
Yeah, well, you have to rest. You have to rest in the dark room or in the light room.
Well, we don't have that anymore, thank goodness.
Thank God.
That's all over with. But it was a long time getting there. And you know what's terrible, and I feel so sorry for them, there are still people who can't get it out of their system. It's too bad.
There are still a lot of people who can't get a lot of things out of the system.
That's
and
right.
That will always be. If it isn't that, there will be something else. They will hate. I think that's the way man is built. I mean, man hasn't changed a bit since the first one was recorded in history. I don't think so. We have learned a lot, but we haven't changed a lot.
I don't know. Having no claws, having no fangs, having no great strength, no speed, he only had to use his head to survive. He had to figure out these devious, terrible...
Yeah, but a lot of them didn't use their heads. They just used their fangs or their arms or other things,
But they had to figure out all these terrible, sneaky things to do in order to survive. And I believe that's been handed down to us.
Well, there's a war between men at all times, whether it is a fighting war or a business war, or a war about a woman, or war about anything. It's constant.
We differ from all the other species in several ways, and that's one way. Animals, for example, fighting over a lady of the same species. One or the other pretty soon will give up.
Yes.
And he just bows his head in submission, and the other one goes about his business.
Animals are more gallant than present-day men, I think.
There's a wonderful story I love to tell about some European deer that I have down in Virginia. I once heard this great clashing noise, and I rushed over the brow of the hill, and I saw two beautiful, big European red deer bucks clashing together, with their antlers. And about 100 yards off to the right was the cause of all this, a lovely young red deer doe, see? And while these two idiots are fighting, along comes a young fellow with only small antlers, and is very gallant with the lady, attends to her needs, and goes on about his business while these two fools were fighting all the time. And
well, there's probably a fight to get rid of her.
Maybe. That could be. Let me see. Did I tell you the story of the unpolluted? Let me do that. Well, Victor, please, now, walk over to that piano. I know the Knobby people have asked me to say that it's no Steinway, but...
Well, no, I'd much rather read from my book. What do you want music for? You have this lovely orchestra.
Yes, but we don't get Victor Borge every day, and you can really play that thing if you only would. He plays so beautifully.
But
Will him, dear friends. Will him through the radio.
But what do you want me to play, for instance?
Oh, Alabama Bound.
Yeah. Well,
what was the thing he was playing a while ago?
It was the piano.
What was the selection? It was so pretty. It was a waltz, and he said it was a great march.
No, it was a Viennese waltz.
Yes, and it was gorgeous.
A lovely little thing. It was by Friedman Gärtner. And a lady asked me the other day, she said, is Mr. Gärtner still alive? I said, no, madam, he's still dead. I love to play, but it's such a lousy piano.
Oh, dear.
No, it really is.
It only has told us we'd never known.
No, it only has 3 legs, and you can't play on a 3-leg piano. I mean...
What's the pedal in the middle for?
To separate the 2 other pedals.
He's now drifting toward the piano. Believe me, it's like pulling teeth to get him to do it.
Goodbye.
I just have to count the keys here because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 87. Listen, one is missing here. And that's the one I really need. Well, let me see now. I have to find C here. Wait a minute. Let's see. There should be 7 of them. 7 C's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Would you come over here, please? Could you show me where the middle G is, please?
There is no middle G.
Oh. So you promised to mark it for me, and you didn't do that. That's nice. That is a good one. What's your name? What's your name?
Ludwig.
Ludwig. And you are deaf, huh?
He's taking Jerry apart now.
Yeah. That was yours. So I'm giving it back to you.
How about that? I haven't seen so much done with a G string since the days of the late Gypsy Rose Lee.
That wasn't a G string. That was a G sharp string.
Oh?
Yeah, he didn't even know where G was. He was right next to it. Well, of course, one can have more fun with music. You know, actually, there's no profession in which hilarity and jokes and fun can be derived from.
That's right, I agree.
From orchestras, from opera, from concerts, from music in itself. Musicians are generally full of anecdotes and jokes, and that's what I've tried to, some of them put in this book. I didn't mean to bring that up, of course.
No.
No, really, it is the fact that there is a world of entertainment in just, for example, musical stories. You know, of the, I think it was the, one of the great conductors, I can't remember who it was, but let us say Beecham or somebody, who during a rehearsal complained about the second bassoonist who didn't, I don't know if you know the story.
No.
He had complained about the second bassoonist playing too loud, so they stopped the rehearsal and he said, "Will you please play the piano? I don't want to hear it too clearly." And this repeated, and he stopped again and said, "I told you I didn't want to hear the second bassoonist so loud. As a matter of fact, just cut it down to a pianissimo because it doesn't sound right." So they did it again, and he stopped again, and he said, "I hope I don't have to say it anymore because we have to." So the first bassoonist got up, and he said, "Maestro, the second bassoonist hasn't shown up yet. He hasn't arrived yet." So the maestro said, "Well, tell him then when he comes." I mean, of course, there's hundreds of that kind of stories and actually happening.
But this new book you have is about composers now, not conductors, huh?
Well, this is about opera composers, and as I say in the foreword, that you don't have to know anything about music in order to understand. These are human stories. Yeah. Like, for instance, if I may just read a couple of lines here. Let's see now. This is very difficult to take anything out of context of this book because it belongs together. Rossini, you know about Rossini? Yeah. Rossini was born in 1792, 5 months after his parents got married, and it taught him a lesson. He was never early for another appointment in his whole life. Rossini was the laziest boy in town. He even became the laziest man in town. But that was later. He also managed to be born on February 29th, which he considered a good break because he didn't have to bother with so many celebrations. And then there's a footnote that says on his 18th birthday, he was already 72. And, well, there, of course, you can't go through. George Bizet. Everybody knows that Carmen is one of the most glorious operas ever written. Nobody knew it while Bizet was around to enjoy it. But as soon as he died, they knew it right away. And that's the way things always happened with him. Bizet was the original Hartlock man. He was the kind of fellow who stayed up nights to finish an opera by the deadline, only to find out afterwards that the production had been postponed for a year. He wrote a symphony and misplaced the manuscript before anybody could play it. He wrote a newspaper review of a Paris concert, and the conductor challenged him to a duel. He entered a composing contest with only one other entrant and ended up with second prize. Once he went to visit his girlfriend and tapped on her window at the precise moment her mother was emptying a chamber pot from the room directly above his head. This is absolutely true. And I don't know if you want to know about Strauss. Oddly enough, Strauss's most glorious waltz, The Beautiful Danube, was a total flop at first. Maybe it's because everybody in Vienna knew that the Danube isn't blue at all. It is grace sometimes and dirty green other times. It is also sludgy, reedy, murky, and smelly. But blue, no. Another trouble was that Strauss wrote the waltz for the Men's Choral Society of Vienna, which meant that it had to have words. The words were written by Joseph Wilde, a local poet who could write beautiful verses the way the Danube was blue. I just happen to have some of them with me here, now that you ask. Vienna be gay, and what for pray? A glimmer of light to us is night. Carnivals come, ho ho ha hum. This is absolutely true.
Ho ho hum hum.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, of course, you can't read the whole
Don't give it away now. No, gee whiz. That's the book. That's called My Favorite Intermissions by Victor Borge. Please get it. And on the way to the bookstore, will you please stop and buy the Unpolluter, the new no-phosphate detergent from Gold Seal Company?
That is, if you have a little money left over.
Yeah. The box of the Unpolluter weighs about the same, suds is about the same, and costs about the same as the detergents you're used to, because the Unpolluter is beaded, which is a mark of quality, and it won't be weighing 10 pounds like some of those things. Usually, the no-phosphate detergents that are not beaded claim to be concentrated or give more washes per box. And generally, you do use less per wash load. But the thing to compare is the cost per wash, not the cost per pound. If you do, I think you'll find one more reason for choosing the Unpolluter. That is the name of the no-phosphate detergent that has the power to clean without polluting. And it's made by the people who gave you Mr. Bubble, Glass Wax, Snowy, and things like that. And while you're there in the supermarket, will you pick up a package of Lipton tea bags, the flow-through tea bags? Lipton is America's favorite tea, and it tastes so good, too good to save for just when things go wrong. Drink Lipton tea anytime, all the time. It's always delightful, as is Ethel Ennis.
Take the ribbon from my hair, shake it loose and let it fall. Lay it soft against your skin, like the shadows on the wall. Come and lay down by my side till the early morning light. All I'm asking is your time. Come on and help me make it through the night. I don't care what's right or wrong. I don't want to understand. Let the devil take tomorrow. For tonight, I need a friend. Yesterday is dead and gone. And tomorrow's out of sight. It's so sad to be alone. Help me make it through the night. Yesterday is dead and gone, and tomorrow so sad to be alone. Help me make it through the night. I said it's so sad to be alone. Come on and help me make it through the night.
Hey, you know what we have to do? We have to give her double money because she played another instrument. She doubled in that thing.
What about me?
We pay you a little double, too.
Oh, I played with both hands.
Well, that's half price, you said, because it took half as long.
Yeah, well, in that respect.
Do you know the game Etch-a-Sketch, Victor?
Yes.
You do?
I don't want to hear about it.
Okay, then. No use to tell him. It's a shame, too, because it's a great game.
Okay, then tell people
And
about
it's something that you should get really for Christmas for the whole family, as a matter of fact. One will do.
Better. I like it for Easter better, if you don't mind.
No, we got Christmas before Easter.
Ah, well, then forget about the whole thing.
Christmas is coming very shortly, and a present...
Maybe to you. What time is it?
A Christmas present for the whole family is a good idea, because here's something you buy, and you just keep it around the house, and whenever anyone finds
Like
a
a
little
garden,
idle
for
time, he
Like a
picks up the
garden,
game. Yeah. And you have two little knobs, and you draw with it, and you can write, you can draw circles if you learn how, if you are good at coordinating.
Mm.
And you can have a lot of fun with this thing, and don't let anybody tell you it's not a safe game. It's as safe as anything I know of. I mean, of course, if one kid picks it up and socks another over the head with it, there's going to be the dickens to pay, but otherwise it's a good one, and it's a very safe game. Go ahead and enjoy it. Get one for your family. And to keep the bathroom smelling nice and clean, get Dow Bathroom Cleaner. Just spray it on any cleanable bathroom surface. It foams, it bubbles, and then you can wipe it off with a damp rag or a sponge, and all you'll see in that bathroom surface is nice, sparkling shine, clean, no fungus among us. Victor, it's been a joy to see you again. Don't be so long between visits. It was great to see you, and I wish you all the success in the world with my Favorite Intermissions, your new book, Lives of the Musical Greats, and other facts you never knew you were missing.
Well, it was kind of you to help me plug the book, and I want to tell you and the listeners that as often as I listen to you, you always sound good, but I'm delighted to see that you also look so good.
Thank you,
and
sir.
so healthy and so fresh.
I feel pretty good, thank you. I'm very lucky. I'm on borrowed time, but I'm paying the interest, and I feel very good. I'm grateful. So long till tomorrow.
This is the CBS Radio Network.